Session tonight, we're going to start with our advanced agenda, and then we'll go into our briefing for tonight. Mr. Piccolo.
Good afternoon. The first two items will be briefed by Chief Oberg. They include a personal service agreement with Ready Rebound and a 5-year interagency agreement with DNR. Thank you, Chief.
Afternoon, Council. Ready Rebound is a 1-year annual contract for $85,000. What Ready Rebound does is it takes injuries to our firefighters and basically fast tracks them through the system, especially with orthopedic injuries, gets them quickly into x-rays, MRIs, appointments, and gets them back on the job. So it's a fantastic savings for us, not only just for their injury time, but for our overtime. So we're looking at, this will be, I believe, our 2nd-year contract with Ready Rebound.
And Chief, is that just like a renewable contract for 3 years?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
Is it like a renewable contract for up to 3 years?
that one is the annual. So
Okay.
right now we're renewing that one annually.
Just annually.
Yes. Any questions on Ready Rebound? The second one item that I have is related to the Community Wildfire Defense Grant that we have, and what we're asking is for up to $500,000 of that to be able to allow us to contract with DNR to assist with our hazardous fuel reduction plan on city properties.
Councilmember Cathcart.
Are we bringing back the goats?
I'm sorry.
Are we bringing back the goats?
The goats. I honestly don't know the answer to that. That's not under this grant program.
Okay.
I will find that answer back to you. I have not heard that we're not, but I think we usually have them by this time, so I'll get
Yeah.
that answer back to you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Bingle.
So again, because it was brought up, I know it doesn't pertain to this, but there will be riots in the street if we don't have goats out there.
Yes, we
That's
need
all I know.
goats. Oh,
Yes.
We'll get goats in some
Okay.
fashion or form then. Even if it's just running around City Hall, we'll release
Listen,
them.
Fine
we'll
by
take
me.
it.
Fine
Absolutely,
by me.
yeah.
I just want to remind you, those goats are prevailing wage.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank
I
you.
will get that answer. Any other questions? Thank you.
Prevailing wage, that was good.
It is, it's the truth.
Item number 3 is an interdepartmental agreement between Public Works and Parks, and Lauren Searle will present this.
Is he online? I don't think Lauren knew that. Do you have a comment, Councilmember Bingle?
I remember this one. This was going to be Parks Department basically maintaining the rights-of-way spaces that we see to keep those green areas green, or what should be green areas green. And I believe previously it might have been the utility department that was doing it, but now Parks will be covering it.
I think you're right. I think this just clears up the confusion of who should be keeping the right-of-way
Right.
cleans.
Yes.
Because people don't know which department that is.
Yes. Now, this does not have anything to do with picking up garbage or anything in those areas. It's just making sure that the grass is green, the trees are maintained, everything like that. So another plug for Clean and Safe to partner with this, and then we got a really nice, just saying.
Thank you, Councilmember Dillon. And Bingle. Oh, my gosh. It's time to go home.
If any questions do come up, we can have the department respond. Item number 4 is a contract with Paradigm Software LLC, and Mike Sloan from IT will present this.
Good afternoon, Council President, Council members. This item is requesting approval for new software for the Scale House. This software went through an RFP process. That's how this was selected. So this is the first year of a 4-year contract. You'll note that is a fairly extensive first-year cost, and that first-year cost includes licensing, the customization work that the software developer has to do for us, training, and then implementing the software. Then the subsequent yearly cost is roughly $43,000 plus tax. So that's why you see this 1 year. Yes, sir.
And I guess that's my question is, I mean, what sort of $250,000 sophisticated software is needed out at the waste-to-energy facility? And I mean, just, I'm ignorant here.
Okay, and in part, so am I, because we're just doing this on behalf of Waste to Energy. It's a very complex system when you have the diversity of customers that come onto that site, and then you have to make sure that both scales, one fails, the other one works. So the complexity there, the loads, what's in the loads, very, very complex. And then you have to the rates, and you have all those adjustments based on tonnage and resources of what type it is. So that's another part of the challenge. A lot of the cost is associated then with training for that software. That's a big thing. And then implementing. New code takes a big effort to install. So lots of hours on the book. Now, again, in comparative, and I'm glad you asked that, that's what that RFP process really vets out to say, why is this? And there's a lot more expensive ones out there. But this is a rock-solid unit. We supported it. It passes all of our security concerns from a cyber perspective, so we fully support it. Okay, thank you.
Going back to item number 3, Marlene Feist is here if there are any questions involving the Parks agreement with Public Works.
Oh.
Go ahead, Councilmember Cathcart.
Yeah, I guess, is this really just replacing what we've been doing, or is there going to be some additional service or additional work that's done as a result of this?
We think that the Parks Department will do it better than we do, right? So they will get some economies of scale as they go about doing landscape maintenance for the parks, the things that are nearby, the boulevard strips and things like that we've been taking care of, we believe will be better service. Also be sort of a one-stop shop for the citizen who has a question or concern about an area. So we're doing this as the pilot project. We've worked with parks. We're going to, transfer some lawn mowers and things like that for them to use, and we think this is a better outcome. We think that parks are just better suited for this kind of work than we are in Public Works.
And then this is just covering those areas that are essentially designated parkland, even though they're not really parkland, like the boulevards on like Mission Avenue, for example.
Right, so these are right-of-way pieces, green pieces that the water department has traditionally maintained. There's a variety of things. There's stormwater swales, there's boulevard strips, there's little islands and places. So that collection of things, there's an inventory, and that'll go over to parks for their summer work.
Okay, thank you.
Number 5 is a letter of support requested for the RAMPS grant program, and Dan Wardell will brief this item.
Council President, council members, thank you for the opportunity. National Institute of Standards and Technology opened up a second round of funding for a regional effort for collaboration between universities and businesses. And I was reached out to by Eastern Washington University's Stu Steiner as a partnership. There, Eastern Washington University is actually applying for the grant. The grant, if so approved, would be awarded in August. We would interview students in September, and this would allow us to have 2 students from Eastern Washington's computer science and cybersecurity program as employees, paid for through Eastern, but their work is performed here, and that's what this grant would provide. And there would be some purchases that we would make for the students in preparation for them, and that money would be reimbursed by grant funds.
Councilman Cathcart.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great. It sounds like it could be a win-win. I'm just wondering, will there be any expense that we will have to pay to support the program, or is it all completely funded from Eastern?
It's funded through the grant through Eastern.
And then do we have the bandwidth to help? Because I'm sure these 2 will need a lot more
There'll be some spin-up.
focus and
The
attention.
2 students, or the 2 FTEs, I'll call it, will be the same through the whole program. So we'll interview through October, November, and we'll do that hire in January. So we'll have a one-time train-up, and then we'll have those students through 19 hours a week through the end of May, and then summertime will be full-time, and then back into the school year, those same students come through again for 19 hours a week through the end of that school year.
Okay.
So one time ramping up. That was one of my requests, is not to have new students every quarter that I would have to retrain in a technical field.
So you're not worried about distractions or it kind of taking you off the
No.
current rails? Okay.
No, this would be an enhancement to the security office and what we can achieve.
Great.
Well, that's exciting to me because we've talked a lot about how do we start pumping our own pipeline of getting people interested, first of all, in government jobs, but specifically in a field like yours that is so highly competitive. We could partner with our universities, the more the merrier. So we're excited about the partnership. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Going to the legislative agenda, special budget ordinances, I believe we have a couple on deferrals.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ms. Fish, do you want to read?
Yeah, before I made a motion for deferral, I'd love to hear just from Michelle, if you may. Had a question that came up about just the criminal justice services. You know, we were told that they had a hard end date by end of June. So if we defer this to June 3rd, where does that sort of situate them in the time of approval versus kind of the cliff that they're facing?
It shouldn't affect anything because they're grant funded all the way through June 30th. And this would be approved before then.
Great, thanks.
Are there specific items that we're wanting to discuss, or is it just?
It's items number 1 and 2. It's giving the administration more time to evaluate the whole RFP process that has been in conversation
Which would be Catholic Charities and CAT
for the housing
for items 1 and 2.
remodel,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
They just want some more time to figure out how it's going to impact the areas.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Yep.
Councilmember
I'll
Dillon.
put a motion to defer until June 3rd.
Second.
It's been moved and second to defer ordinance 36520 until June 3rd. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Councilman Breen, you have a question?
Yeah, I do have some discussion on this real quick.
Okay.
What are we going to do with the amendments? Will we consider those in another time or when that comes?
They will be deferred also till June 3rd.
Well,
Councilman Cathcart, you have another question?
yeah, just point of, I mean, we can defer this and still consider amendments for, that deferred version, or we can defer the amendments if we want, but just deferring it doesn't mean the amendments go away.
You can do either one.
You can
I
do
mean,
either
if you
one.
wanted to take up the amendments today, you could. If you wanted to defer them as well, you could do that. You have a choice here. So,
I'm happy with deferring the amendments. I think that there's more discussion to happen in there. I think there's a lot of really great projects, particularly in Councilmember Navarrete's amendment and mine. Obviously, I'm partial. We worked on that. But, yeah, happy to have more discussion on it.
Councilman Cathcart?
Yeah, just one point. I would love, since we're going to defer this, and I assume that's going to be the case, more conversation on what exactly is being requested by the courts. I'm still kind of unclear, I guess, as to how, basically in the big picture, how are they going to be funded next year? If we don't know how we're funding them for the second half of this year, how do we, in good conscience, continue those programs without knowing how we're going to fund them in January? So that's the conversation I think we need to have.
Who said you weren't a mind reader? That's what I was thinking, Councilman Cathcart. So it's been moved in second to defer this ordinance. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any noes? Any abstentions? Ordinance 520 is deferred till June 3rd.
Second SBO is ordinance 36521 regarding forfeiture and contribution funds. I believe there's also a request to defer this.
Councilmember Dillon?
Yeah, bring forth a motion to defer until June 3rd.
I think the request was for July 1st.
Sorry, July 1st, yeah.
yes.
Wait,
And
which one?
Second.
The forfeiture
The
funds.
forfeiture funds. Councilmember Bingham?
Yeah, why are we deferring this one?
Yeah.
They want to pull it into the mid-year budget year process.
Your budget, your process, okay. Does that, do we know if that slows down any operations from the police as they're the ones requesting the dollars?
I cannot speak to that, but I can get the answer for you. But I don't believe it would be, because they're asking to use it to purchase vehicles and things.
Councilmember Cathcart?
So is the expectation that they're going to use forfeiture dollars to cover other things or the reverse? Because can't do the former, not much of that at all. And so I'm just wondering what the full intent is of deferral, because we can't just take money from forfeitures to cover budget holes. And so I'm just not sure where that conversation's going.
I think it's just to minimize the amount of SBOs. They're going to just do it all at once.
So there's no proposed changes. They just want to.
They're just going to pull it into the mid-year budget process and the SBO that they have to do for that.
So my one question, I don't see Major Assistant Chief McNabb here, is do they have enough funding right now for the buys and whatnot to get them through to that point? Because that would be an important piece to know. If they're going to run out of money, then I definitely wouldn't want to defer it till July.
Councilmember Bingham?
This was, my point was that I might be in favor of deferring all of them except for E, for that very same purpose, is that if they don't have that money appropriated right now, then it might slow down operations in that way. So is this something that we can potentially look at deferring next week as opposed to this week so that we can get an answer from the police on that one? Because that's my only concern, because you're right, all the other stuff, it looks as if that wouldn't be a huge problem for us to defer those, but E is the only one that I'm really concerned about.
Yeah.
And that's for the confidential funds.
Right.
So,
I'll withdraw my motion and
Can we
yeah,
wait
we
till
can
next
vote it
week?
next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I understand you're not going to defer it today, but get the information that you need to decide whether you're going to defer it next Monday.
Correct.
Okay.
correct. Okay. Councilmember Dillon withdrew his motion.
Yeah. Put a motion to defer till May 20th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Wait a minute, we're not
Which one?
considering, it's already on May
No,
20th. It's already on May 20th, yeah.
June, so next week would be Memorial Day, that would be June 3rd.
June
Yeah.
3rd.
Okay, so we're at the June 3rd.
Wait, what's happening?
So we're not going to defer it till July 1. We're going
Yeah.
to defer it till June 3rd, so we can have more clarity around E, which you had mentioned. And also, I was concerned, will $100,000 make a difference on cars?
Yeah.
It sounds like one car.
Yeah, I would, do we just want to wait until next week to defer is my point. I don't think we need to defer it at all today if we just wait, because then we could get some clarity on those things. And if we still want to defer for
Okay.
information on the vehicles, but I would just say, I think it makes more sense for us to not take any action on it now, because we're not voting on it tonight. We still have time to take action on it next week if needed.
Okay, so what's on the floor is Councilmember Dillon withdrawing his motion for deferral.
Yep.
Do I need a second on that, Chris?
No.
Motion is withdrawn. Thank you.
Under emergency ordinances, 36522, the ordinance imposing an immediate one-year moratorium, and Councilmember Dillon is the sponsor.
Yeah, we briefed this in public safety last week. We've had no changes since that briefing. I thought we had a pretty robust discussion. I think we went a little over 30 minutes. And so then we had a nice follow-up discussion, study session around the proposal of a LATOT TIF as well. So I don't have anything else to add, really.
Okay.
Any other questions? Great.
Under resolutions and final reading ordinances, the first three items, Resolution 2024-48, 49, and 51, will be briefed by Michelle Murray, and they all relate to the limited tax general obligation refunding bonds.
Good afternoon, thank you. So the very first resolution is for the refinance of the public safety debt for the series of debt loans that we've done starting in 2014, 15, 16, 17. So we're refunding 17, 18, 19, and 20 and compiling them into one debt service payment. The second one is back in 2016, we refunded the River Park Square bonds that were issued, and that debt schedule that we accepted has a big balloon payment at the end of next year. And so we are pulling that in and restructuring it in its own SIP loan so that we can defease the bonds, existing bonds on the River Park Square. The monies will be held in escrow, and then we'll continue making SIP loan payments. And there's no debt service in '24, it starts in '25. And then the last one is refinancing 3 small SIP loans and then adding a $1.2 million per se draw on the SIP loans to give parking cash so that they can pay for their bills that have come in due for their parking meters.
Councilmember Cathcart and then Councilmember Bingham.
Yeah, do we know why we're continuing to do the parking meter purchases? It just seems like we should have hit a big pause on that, and I just don't understand kind of why we're still moving forward, given our financial situation.
I don't have an answer for you. Luis was out sick today, so he couldn't brief this or be here to talk to that, but I can definitely get some answers.
Be helpful. Thank you.
Comment?
We can chat about this offline, but I just kind of want to know what the overall financial impact of these two will be. And like I said, we can chat more about that later because might get down into the weeds on things.
Meaning what the debt service schedule is going to be like?
Yeah,
or?
and what it does for this budget and future budgets, because I know we deferred and we had no debt service in this budget for something else, and so just kind of want to see what that does moving forward.
So the River Park Square one is reducing debt service payments to $1.7 million that they're getting alleviated from this year. And then by refinancing all the other two and then adding in some, so we don't have to add just 1.2 loan, they've restructured that, and the debt service this year is $415,000, and it was more than that. I can't remember the number, but I do know that the River Park Square one's saving them like $1.6 million this year.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
it. Thank you.
Ordinance number 36482 concerning short-term rental lease fees. And Matt Boston is listed here.
If not, Mr. Wright could kind of brief us on this.
Yeah, this is the repeal of the short-term rental fee, the nightly platform fee. This is that administration request. You'll remember that we've talked about this on a number of times. It was deferred from March to May 13th. And during that time, the administration was analyzing whether or not it wanted to continue with the program or just repeal it altogether. And ultimately, they concluded that they would rather repeal it. So it's a very simple ordinance that repeals the entire section there.
Any questions?
Okay. I believe the next two items may have already been briefed on, but 36516 regarding the definition of emergency and 36518 relating to executive and administrative organization of the city. Do we need further update on those two?
They've been briefed, and there's been no new proposals yet on the emergency.
Okay. Going to ordinance 36519, repealing inactive boards, and Adam McDaniel is listed. I think this may have also been briefed. Okay.
Many times. It's been talked about many times, so.
Brings us to first reading ordinances, 36523 relating to residential rental properties and cooling requirements, and Sarah Nuss is listed.
I think we were briefed on this last week about cooling, Councilmember Bingo.
Yeah, so I asked the question, and my understanding was that it was just making it to where you couldn't keep somebody from having a cooling unit in their residential unit. What I am wanting to know is because it says relating to residential rental properties and establishing cooling requirements. And so that seems to me as if we're adding something to a landlord, and that's what I would like to understand.
So the requirements are things like it can't interfere with the different egress laws, and you're probably more familiar with building code than I am, but things like, what are those windows called that kind of stick out like bay windows?
Yeah.
If it's a one-story bay window, you can have one. If it's a two-story bay window, you can't, all of that kind of stuff, because we don't have anything preventing landlords from banning them, I guess. We need to include those little pieces, or at least refer to them. So it's not like new requirements for landlords, but it is like recognizing like fire code and building code.
Yeah, and that all seems fine to me. I just, again, want to make sure that if the ordinance is truly just, hey, you can't tell people they can't have a cooling unit, totally supportive, but I just don't want to make sure that we're adding a bunch of requirements, utility requirements on the landlord. So that's my question. Does anybody know the answer to
I'm going to
that?
ask if Mr. Wright want to weigh in on this.
I think it's confined to cooling devices, and that's it. It's when they can be, when the tenant can insist on them, and when the landlord can properly deny a cooling device. And it has some other provisions relating to retaliation if you deny it, and defining what an extreme heat event is that would trigger some of these requirements. But it doesn't really go beyond cooling devices.
And I think it was Councilmember Navarrete who asked the question of who pays the electricity on those.
I'm not sure if that's addressed in the ordinance.
That's not a-
So
It's not.
Typically, the
In
tenant,
rental
but it could be
properties,
both.
usually it's the renter, but
Yeah.
if they don't have the proper metering, then it's the landlord.
Yeah.
Or it's part of their rent.
That's a good question.
Okay, and there are no special considerations and no hearing items, so that completes the agenda for May 20th.
I'm sorry, I saw boards and commissions, and I didn't,
That's,
I know Bo, but the OPO one, I don't know if we've talked about OPO.
No, we're just doing the advanced agenda. We're going to approve the advanced agenda, then we'll go into our meeting for this evening after this.
Isn't that on the advanced agenda?
No, that's the current. We're just doing the advanced right now.
No, it's on
Boards
advance.
boards and commissions, yeah, on the advanced. On May 20th? Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Okay, before we do that then, so on the boards and commissions, we're just approving the agenda. We're not voting on them tonight.
No, I know. I just
Okay.
didn't know if we were going to talk about, because we, Bo and I were able to connect the SERS board, and everybody seems excited to have him, but who's the OPO? Okay. We are interviewing next week?
Adam, are you able to help us out?
Yep, that's the mayoral nominee. It'd be Philip Wetzel, and we've got him scheduled to try to come to council on the 20th.
Adam, sorry, I couldn't hear you. Who was it?
Philip Wetzel.
Philip Wetzel. Okay, thank you. And we'll interview next week, you said?
The
Yes,
20th,
please.
he said.
Wonderful.
Great.
Very good.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the advanced agenda for May 20th.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Any abstentions? The agenda is approved. We will now go into our legislative session for this evening. We don't have one, but we do have a presentation, and we're so glad to have her here with us. So just a little background. For many years, I've worked with aging in long-term care. Keep living, you'll all get there. Lynn has been amazing. I'm honored to serve now on the Aging and Long-Term Care Board, and she has come, Lynn, welcome, to give us an update. That whole cooling ordinance will possibly impact some of our seniors that we try to support in the work that we do. So please welcome Lynn, the Executive Director of Aging and Long-Term Care of Eastern Washington. Lynn, it's all yours.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me today. And it is definitely one of those, cooling in the summers is a hot topic in our world because getting people the assistance they need. I know we've had last year wasn't as bad as far as heat events, but we are always looking ahead to the summer a little nervous, especially a lot of our clients who may not have access to cooling. Isn't part of my report today, but that is when it's always at the top of our hearts because we've had to do a lot of creative thinking to try to get people cool and get people to shelters and places so that they can just keep going. Because definitely heat has a lot of impacts as you age, and especially if you have lots of other health conditions that are going on. So, to pivot a little bit, who we are. So why am I talking to you? So Aging and Long-Term Care is your local area agency on aging. So we are set up as a council of governments, and City of Spokane is a member of our interlocal agreement. So City is among the many members who kind of make up our board and govern us. Our vision is really, how do you help people age in place and age in home? And our goal is to help keep people in the community. So you would think long-term care would be nursing facilities. We are the opposite. It is how do we help people stay in their own homes as long as possible. And so we work with a lot of different partners in our local community. About half of our funding actually goes out to other local community organizations like Frontier Behavioral Health, SNAP, Rural Resources Community Action, Greater Spokane County Meals on Wheels, and many others to kind of work together to make sure people can stay safe at home. And I always preface everything with there are so many different resources. Navigating long-term care is always a challenge for everyone, even those of us who are in the field. So we have in every single one of our service areas an access line to help people figure out where do they start, because we know information is key. So in helping people walk through assistance options, so many times, you're given a website, you're told, go to this website, fill out this form. You may or may not actually have access to internet, reliable access to anything, or know how to use internet to register for services. So our staff actually help people through the processes, and we help people of all income levels. So it is helping people figure out whether it's working with their family members on how do you put together a care plan, what other assistant options you can pay for to bring in, all the way to helping people apply for Medicaid long-term care to get a paid caregiver to help them stay in their homes. So we do the full range. And we also, this Last couple years, some of the pieces we've added on is we have a staff that specializes in dementia. So she works with individuals and families and really helping them through the process and figuring, what kind of things you can do with behaviors. She works a lot with first responders. So when you see silver alerts and things like that, they're often very good at following back up with us to get people connected with those supports. So we work with care partners and people living with memory loss, try to navigate systems and figure out how to get support. And same with housing assistance. We didn't used to do housing. A couple years ago, we started adding on, and we've got 2 individuals who just work with older adults and people with disabilities who are housing challenged. And so trying to help people prevent homelessness as much as possible, because often we get people who they are just being priced out and they're on fixed incomes and they haven't had to look for a place in the last 10 years. So it's always a little challenging. But this group, they answered in Spokane around 10,000 calls in 2023, so they are very, very busy. Their top 3 calls and topics are around long-term care, as you would assume would be number 1. Number 2 is dementia, and number 3 is housing, which is why we've staffed the line the way we have. And they also do home visits, so it is not just over-the-phone services, but especially when we're working with someone with cognitive loss, getting out to the home, getting face-to-face to see, what is going on and kind of helping to break down some of those barriers so you can really connect with someone and get them into services. And then as far as services we fund, before I go into data, you can see there's a pretty wide variety, and everything is a little bit different. A lot of our senior services are just age-based, and in our world, a senior is 60 and older, which doesn't seem like one, the closer you get to it. So it is definitely a little bit lower age range than you might think. And most of those are really, are you an older adult? Do you have a need? There's a service available. Some do have sliding fee scales, but most are just age-based. And then we get into support for families. So especially a lot of us are unpaid family caregivers. So we're helping to support our moms and dads and aunts and uncles and grandparents. And so helping that family member keep on that journey, because it's a really critical part of our system. And then last is around Medicaid services. So we do a lot of work around people who need help through the Medicaid system to stay in their own homes, providing for a paid caregiver to help them get their personal care needs met so they can stay at home. All right, so data. So 2023. So of course, like many of us who have to work with lots of data systems, not all of them talk together. So I will say we probably served more than 9,579 people, but some of our systems don't talk. So especially when it comes to Medicare counseling, those are a little bit outside of the system and we don't know for sure how many overlap. But you can see around 4,000 people called that helpline for information. We had almost 3,000 hours just counseling people on their care options, helping them figure out where to go in the system. 4,600 clients who received Medicaid and home care. So that's individuals who had a paid caregiver to help them stay in their homes. Our meal partners served over 5,000 seniors, over 200,000 meals. We had lots of intensive care coordination services for people who are really high risk, have lots of conditions, a lot of hospital visits in and out of the hospital, in and out of facilities, helping them kind of work on their health plans and figure out medication, housing, other supports to help keep them stable. Lots and lots of work on Medicare and especially around the Medicare Savings Program. So helping people who are qualified for assistance to get assistance with their premiums, helping unpaid caregivers, and quite a bit. This last year as well, we really started beefing up what we were able to do around helping people transition from hospital to home. So we have a little bit of state funding to help us with individuals who are transitioning home from the hospital, need a little extra support, need some help navigating and figuring out, what's going to help them be able to stay in their homes, regardless of what their income is and what their situation is. And with that, I'll move on to the rest of our data, so our demographics. So as you might guess, with aging and long-term care, with aging being our name, we tend to skew towards the older spectrum. So only 25% of our clients are under the age of 60. We do serve people of all ages, especially in the Medicaid program. We are serving people 18 and older. So we have a number of people we serve where it is a traumatic brain injury, other issues that have caused people to need assistance with personal care to stay in their homes. And definitely as the years go on, we're seeing the 80 plus, 85 plus especially start to grow and grow. So it's been a little interesting how our age breakdown has shifted. And then for race and ethnicity, you can see how that breaks down as well. 15.4% of our client population is diverse. I will say the other category captures mostly people who've indicated 2 or more, but the rest should be pretty accurate. And with that, I would just be happy to answer any questions. We've got lots of changes coming up in the next year. Spokane and our region is actually going to be one of the pilot sites for the state for helping people start services a little bit early when they're applying for Medicaid long-term care. So we're going to be piloting something called presumptive eligibility later this year. So instead of somebody doing their application, going to the state, and then waiting for the application to get finished, we'll actually be able to screen people and start people with a set of services right away. So we're excited about that because it can often be a very long wait to get on services once you've applied, and many of us don't apply until we are really in a crisis. So helping people access services earlier, we said, yes, we'll be happy to pilot.
So Lynn, what's the average wait time? You had mentioned when people actually apply before it kind of works its way through the system. How many months?
Yeah, it's always at least a minimum of 45 days typically. So 45 days is what it takes on average that's their deadline for financial eligibility. Typically, we're back down to about a month wait to get the functional eligibility assessments done, but it has creeped up at different times. There was a 3-month waiting period last year. It really just depends on our state partners and how things are going with hiring and workforce.
And of course, our topic is housing.
Yeah.
So how has the challenge been with housing for seniors?
It's been a challenge, yeah. It has definitely been a challenge. We have, between supportive housing under the Foundational Community Supports Waiver, we have 4 people working that program. So just working with high-risk Medicaid clients, primarily people being served by our other programs. And then the 2 that are working our Community Living Connections line. It is a long wait. We do get 1 housing voucher per month. Our teams prioritize that, who's ready to go, who has everything in place. We get landlords set up, everything ready, and try to make it so as soon as we get approved, we can get somebody in a place. But it is a wait, and especially those people we're working with who have a lot of barriers. So if they have previous evictions, if they have a criminal history or something that's followed them through their lives, it gets increasingly complicated. And then if you add accessibility, it gets even more complicated because not every apartment is accessible in Spokane. So finding somebody a place, sometimes you find someone a place and it's, nope, it's 3rd floor and they have a wheelchair and that just isn't going to work.
Thank you. Any other questions for Lynn? Councilman Dillon.
Yeah. Just thank you so much for your work. It's so important and really appreciate it, and just astounding success too with all the programming that you've done. I guess my question was, we met with a constituent in District 2 who is proposing a memory garden, and really excited about this. This will come before the park board and to do a pilot. And is that something that you've been kind of tracking? Because we've seen so much, I think, help with patients and elderly who do have dementia.
Yeah, that's Bob Scarfo. So he is on our Planning and Management Council. So he's part of our advisory body that helps kind of keep us community-based and grounded in the work that we do. And he's also on our State Council on Aging. So he gets to advise the governor too. Absolutely wonderful. We're really excited about that proposal. It's one of those, as we've done some work over the last couple of years around dementia-friendly communities, and we're very lucky we had some state funding to help incentivize getting some of the work off the ground. And one of the challenges is finding places and activities for people living with dementia and their care partners, because it can often be, if a restaurant is not used to working with people with memory loss, they're not used to the reactions people have, it can be a challenge. So we've been working to try to see what are other ways we can get really accessible ways for anyone out in the community to get out, get outdoors, get somewhere else, so they aren't just isolated and stuck at home. Because that doesn't do anyone good, whether it's the caregiver or the person living with memory loss.
Thank you.
And Lynn, you want to just really kind of explain, we have an interlocal agreement with Aging and Long-Term Care, so it's one of those boards that we're required to have a seat on, and glad to do it. The city also contributes a funding portion to this agency and towards its work, so.
Yes.
I don't know if all my council members actually knew that, but just want to put that out there on the table.
It's very appreciated. The funding, it may not be a huge amount, but it helps us draw down match. So it provides us the match we need to draw down the federal funding we have. So it is definitely needed and appreciated. And every dollar means we don't have to ask some of our partners who are already having to put match on the table.
Great. Well, thank you, Lynn. As I get older, I become more interested every day. So, no other questions? Thank you for your time. Always feel free to join us and let us know if we need updates as we go forward. With that, there's nothing else before us. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Say aye. Any noes? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you. We will see you next Monday, right here, same time.